This video is brought to you by patreon.com/worsttake. Get access to exclusive live streams and Discord servers, on-screen shoutouts, and early access to some videos when you join now. Help make sure that we can continue to make content like this by supporting the Patreon. Links are in the description down below. D.T.R. It seems like all we do is talk about D.T.R. So you know what we're going to do? We're going to look at the film. We're going to break down the play from D.T.R. Was it good? Was it bad? What can be improved? What needs to not be tried? All of that stuff. We're going to look at all the plays, break it down. So get in the back cave with me. All right, let's get into a D.T.R. film breakdown. We're going to let these plays run, and then we're going to go back down, see what we can get through it. Browns didn't run too much complicated stuff. It was just about getting rid of the ball quickly. I like that this play that they ran here. This is the Maserati Baker Mayfield play. They ran it in 2020 to clinch a first down. It's just basically, you know, a pull and a run. You know what I mean? Just a jet go. And then D.T.R., who, by the way, man, if you haven't done yourself the pleasure, go look up some of his college stuff. He is a plus athlete at the position here at quarterback. And I thought he had a nice run there, just using his speed to get to that corner. Yeah, I remember when Baker ran this one, he kind of struggled to get that edge, but he ended up getting it barely. Look how much ease he gets this with. It's a different type of athlete at the position. We got him in empty. So he's just throwing the screen here. I like the stuff he does here with his feet and his eyes. If we go back, look at it. So first here, ball snap. I like that he starts his body language neutral, because that holds this linebacker in the middle of the field up a little bit. So he holds him there, which I think is a good job. And then gets that ball out to Elijah Moore. Again, another, you know, it's not the greatest thing in the world. It's not like he's like changing the way we look at football by throwing this right here. And I don't want to make it appear as if that's what I'm trying to do. But I do think that this is, you know, just some nice stuff to see from a rookie, right? You just get this play showed again. So it's a nice little screen ball. Get about 5 yards. I think Elijah Moore could have, like, ironically enough, and look, I'm not going to complain that he went towards the middle of the field as much as I've been complaining about him cutting stuff outside. This might have been one time he could have cut some shit outside, though. Like, he got it right here, and they got it to him so quickly. I'm like, the brother could have cut outside, and I think he would have been fine. Like, I think he could have housed this almost if he would have cut it outside. Right here, they're in gun. Yeah, I'll try to let the play run out. All right, so nice little post throw. First thing you want to look at, what was it pre-snap? The look pre-snap. They gave him one high. That's what the shell looks like pre-snap. One high, one corner off, one corner on. You know, when you have Amari Cooper on Joey Porter Jr., you're going to want to try this every single time. This is a matchup that I'm pretty sure they had highlighted in their game plan. Amari Cooper on Joey Porter Jr. Why? Even though Joey Porter Jr. is a good player, there's a couple reasons why they had this game plan in. One, Joey Porter Jr. in this route don't mix. You can get Joey Porter, not that it's out. You can get Joey Porter Jr. on this all day because he just does not have the greatest technique in the world. And Amari Cooper might be one of the best at running that. So you're going to see here, Amari gets him at the top of his route, and just look what he does here with his hands, right? He catches Joey Porter Jr. being a little bit too aggressive with his hands. Amari knows exactly what to do with that, right? So what does he do? He gets that long arm in, but Joey Porter Jr. doesn't really force him or squeeze him to the sideline or do a good job of doing that. So then Amari Cooper does his good just uses his long arm to move him out the way and open his hips up opposite. And then he just starts running, ball on time, first down. Amari Cooper gave Joey Porter Jr. a masterclass today. It might have not have been super gaudy on the stat sheet, but I promise you it was a masterclass. Whenever he wanted that route, he got it. Right here, I mean, this is a fine choice to David Njoku, especially with what the game plan is. You're not going to try to rip a whole shot right here. Just not a good ball by D.T.R. Just put it behind him. It's a little fast. Right here, this is the play action one because he cans it, brings in 18, and then punts over. And I like this ball by D.T.R. Again, the athleticism in this scheme, and I expect the play action to become a heavy factor into what the Browns do against Denver. I think they went like 4 or 5 play action plays in this one. I really wouldn't be surprised if you get as many as 12 play action plays against Denver because he's so athletic when he turns his corner that he can throw this ball on the run and you can get a big gain like that. He did that in the preseason as well. That's something that he has to his game. And also, I would like to point out that D.T.R. does a really good play fake here, too. Well, he does a really good play fake most of the time. Let's see if he does a good job doing it here. Like, he does pay good attention to those small details. Right? This isn't his best play fake in the world, right? Just kind of extends it, doesn't really hide it or anything. But he knew that it was go time with it. Outruns a Joey Porter Jr. or a corner to the spot and then gets that ball off kind of very nicely to David Njoku. Right here, he's an empty. See what happens. Good job recognizing what's going on here, right? I think what they're trying to do is fool him into throwing to Coop, right? They're trying to fool him into throwing to Coop. So what the Steelers are trying to do is make him think that it's a 3-high shell and that you're going to have this route here. And what they're trying to do is come underneath it with TJ Watt and steal it, right? So they're trying to take that away from the Browns and make them nervous about throwing that. But D.T.R. does a good job of reading it. He gets to the top of his drop. He sees it as he sets up and he goes up, going to the running back. Gets it to his running back, and the running back does a good job cutting up field, makes something happen. Again, good way to see what's in front of you. Again, he didn't do anything mind-bending. He's not going to change the world with his play against the Steelers, but I thought he did a good job just executing the game plan. Again, the game plan was just get rid of the ball quickly and get like 5 yards, right? Run game here. Love how Jerome Ford just kind of slips into this little hole right here. And he's able to cut this thing outside, get to the edge, and then get a face mask call that's integral in the Browns being able to score on this drive. All right, see what happens here. Okay, so this is a drop by Elijah Moore. And we'll go through why this was a drop by Elijah Moore. Now, one, yes, D.T.R. could have threw a better ball, sure. But D.T.R. is not the one with the burden of expectation on him, right? That goes on everybody else. Now, you would like for D.T.R. like to see it a little bit better, maybe. I mean, honestly, that's a better decision. This is a better decision than this. So I really don't mind this decision at all. Just get that ball down, honestly. Just get the ball down. And honestly, like, Elijah's got to catch that. And he came back right after this play and caught a good ball. So I'm not too upset with it. But yeah, he's got to layer these things a little bit better. Sometimes when he throws high, it never comes down, right? And he threw this one and it just went straight like a dart. But you can see Man, if you just get that ball just an inch lower, like you just get that down just a little bit and that thing just goes into Elijah Moore and he's able to cut this upfield, that's a big play. That's a big play if you can get the ball like right here. Just a little bit too high. It carried on him. Maybe it was the adrenaline early in the game for your first start. But man, if he can just get this clean, boy, he can make a turn there and really make a play. Got to get those things to Elijah Moore clean in that area when you get that look. And again, here's why I say if you just get that ball relatively clean to Elijah Moore, here's what he can do after it, right? He just slips out of this, almost breaks a tackle, gets a big play there. Way to come back from that, Elijah. And this one even kind of got high on him too. I think he's trying to thread the needle of not getting his balls blocked at the line of scrimmage, but also like trying to layer it. And he's just not really the greatest at it right now. It's a little bit of a fumbled snap here. Is this the trick play? Yep. Yeah, it's a trick play. And D.T.R. does a good job getting into his man's chest. Love the idea behind it. All right, top of his drop, sets up. He just kind of airs this one out, right? Like that's the thing with D.T.R. is he will get the online stuff perfectly. Like if he just has to throw it on a line or on a rope, he's got that throw. Where it starts to require a little bit of layering, that's where he struggles to get the ball where he wants it to right now. Like this one right here, he could have completed it, but he just struggled to get that ball down where he wanted it to. It kept carrying on him. Luckily, he got a pass interference call because Coop's a vet, but yeah, this one just kind of carried on him. I wonder if this was almost tipped or something. Yep. So he threw this high to get it some air, right? But I think he put too much on it, right? So those little nuances, right? Okay, I'm going to want to float this one up, but I wanted to have some zip. How much do I put on it in the NFL to get away with it? He found out this was just a little bit too much. A little bit too much because he does have Coop there. But the ball's just way out of reach. It's a little run play, and again, it's pretty good athleticism by D.T.R. You can see the sideline getting all excited. Also nervous at the same time because he put his shoulder into somebody and we just lost a quarterback for a shoulder. Yeah, this is where you're going to really use a lot of your yak ability with D.T.R. Again, you're just going to ask him to be on time and be on target because a throw like this, look, he gets that ball out right as Coop's turning around for it, and he gets it there in a hurry, which allows Coop to make a little bit of a move and get a couple extra yards. That's going to be the bread and butter of our offense. Same thing here, right? Get it on target. Allow Coop to make a move upfield, and the ball moves him up a couple extra yards, turn a 5-yard pass into a 7-yard pass. Same thing here with Njoku, where that's the idea. Njoku does it again, turns it up, turns a 5-yard pass into a 7-yard pass. Right here, throw it to Elijah Moore, get it to him on time. He has space. He can cut up, turn a 5-yard pass into a 7-yard pass. This is the bread and butter of the Browns offense from now on, similar to what it was with Jacoby Brissett. And in this right here, man, we got to make these plays because this throw is perfect to David Njoku. That thing's on a rope. It's real pretty. David just doesn't get there for it. And empty, steps up, and this one sucks because, boy, you had something developing downfield if you could have just held on a little bit longer, but the pocket gets muddy, right? And what you have here is you have a dagger, So this and this, which means that this corner, like we saw last week, going to have to carry up here, or he could settle in here at the flat and you could just throw the touchdown right there. But he's going to carry in this situation up the middle of the field, which means that this window right here is going to open up, but he just gets rushed out of there before he can get to that window. I think he does a good job of salvaging what's there with his legs. So he starts running, and then just look at his athleticism. Look how fast he's just moving. Like, I think this is really undersold part of his game. Like, he just, oof, look at that. Like, look at that. Like, when he puts his foot in the ground and just like gets that extra forward, almost gets a first down out of this, ends up being 4th and 1. Way to salvage that play, right? Because it should have been there. You get flush from the pocket. It's not. Okay, you make do with what you can do with your legs, right? And he does a good job filling this out, right? Feels like it's TJ Watt on him. Sees Cam Hayward coming up through the middle. Does a good job of avoiding him and finds a way to make something out of nothing here. And I think that's what makes the team want to stick with D.T.R. more than any other option, is that he can do some of the stuff that you want him to do when it comes to the Jacoby Brissett style offense. But he can also run it at a high level. Again, just bread and butter the offense, right? Get some space, get the ball in there quick, move for a couple extra yards. That's the bread and butter of this offense. It's what we're going to live off of. Similar concepts to this. Some of them will be further downfield than what they showed today, but similar concepts to this, right? Get it to him. All right, back it up. Turn a 5-yard pass into a 7-yard pass. Right here, top of his drop, same concept. He just misses it, right? But you get this on time to Cedric Tillman. He's about to do the same exact thing we've been talking about all game, right? Unfortunately, this one's low and away. Right here, running a little bit of a concept, giving him a couple extra seconds to throw the ball here. And he just misses this throw to Coop. Now it almost turns into a pick six because he's not careful with the ball placement here, right? You saw what happened in the play earlier. And this is why young quarterbacks make mistakes. It's not just them reading the field. It's them also reading their body to know what they can and can't get away with and what is and is not right in the speed of an NFL game, because earlier you saw him airmail this ball to Amari Cooper because he put too much on it. So he gets this throw again, right? Has to put it about right here. He's like, okay, I don't want to airmail it. I want to layer this ball. So I'm going to take a lot off of it so it gets there. But what ends up happening is that he takes too much off of it and it goes behind him. He's seeing the field well. He's making the right decision. It's just these are the things that rookies have to adjust to because they don't know exactly what number on the power setting to hit, right? I'm a veteran quarterback, or Deshaun Watson see this throw. He's like, all right, I need to hit this with a 7.5, right? Because Deshaun done threw that ball a million times. He knows in his mind, I need to throw this with about a 7.5. D.T.R. threw the last one at a 9. And he threw this one at a 6. And he's about to figure out, okay, I need to get that ball at a 7.5. This is why you can only develop as a quarterback when you're playing, because this is the shit that really does matter, because it's the right read. He's doing everything correct on paper. But instead of giving this ball about a 7.5 out of 10 when it comes to arm strength on it and speed on it, he gets this thing about a 6. It floats. You see him like actively like, okay, I'm not going to overthrow it this time. And it floats behind him and it almost ends up being a disaster for the Cleveland Browns. That's just a rookie mistake. He's got to learn what he can and can't put on the ball. That's it. But yeah, you can tell right here. You can see him like slow his body down so he can like, yeah, you see him? You see him right there? He like slowed his body down because he's like, I want to throw this at a 6. I threw the last one at a 9. It went too high. I need to throw this one into 6. He should put a little bit more on it. Got away with one there, but now he's learned that lesson, right? And there's going to be tons of lessons like that he's going to have to learn over the next 2 weeks as he continues to play football in the NFL. This is why young quarterbacks throw interceptions. Like that is so much behind why young quarterbacks throw interceptions, right? They got to not just learn what to do, where to throw the ball to, what to do on certain looks, all the mental stuff. It's also the physical stuff of just like knowing, okay, how much speed do I really need to throw this football with versus what I'm capable of. This right here, again, like I like where his eyes are and I like where he's thinking with this because this is the right place to have your eyes for D.T.R, right? The pocket kind of breaks down and he's like, okay, I think I can hit Jerome Ford here for a play. And he's right because what happens is he puts his arm up, that linebacker falls down and he tries to dart this one in there, just didn't have enough on it. Boy, if he was able to hit Jerome Ford on that, that would be a big play. Like where his eyes are, though. Eventually, he's going to make that throw. Right here, he drops back, tries to get this thing to Coop. It's just a little late. And honestly, if I'm D.T.R, I understand what the game plan is. The game plan is, hey, and look, this is not for D.T.R to throw in his first game against the Steelers. This is for later, like much later. But eventually, D.T.R, we want you to hit this one, right? Where you're, okay, Coop's covered. That's a no-go. That's bracketed. That's a no-go. They're trying to crash on him. You see his hips coming towards Coop that way. That's something, and then that's covered. That's a no-no. So you look at here, this is your good option. You have one-on-one with the linebacker's numbers facing towards you. So you know that you have this little gap here that you can hit. And what I would like to see him eventually get to, maybe not by the end of this year, but eventually in his career, is get to a point where he can layer this thing over and make that throw. Like if he could do stuff like that, then that's when you start talking about him as somebody with a lot higher potential. But you look at it from the end zone copy, you can see that Jordan Akins did squeeze open. It would have been a difficult throw for sure, but it is possible, and I think it's possible for him to make, given what I've seen from his arm talent. But he just is a little bit early on this, and I get it. He's trying to execute the game plan, but eventually you don't want him to hold on to that ball just a little bit longer, and he might do this next week. Right, hold on to that ball a little bit longer, see Atkins beat his man off the line, and just give him I know D.T.R can throw this, man. Like, I know for a fact he can just rip a liner right there into the chest of Atkins. I know he can do that. I have no doubt that he's capable of making that throw. I've seen him do it before. So, I get it. This game, you weren't asked to hold on to the ball and see that kind of stuff. But next week you might, right? And you get a look like this, you won't want to throw that because that's a throw I know you can make. And not only I know you can make that throw in stride. So he can get like an extra 10 yards just running the ball after that. I know you can throw that ball. That's going to be a bread and butter play if he develops in the way that you want him to develop over the stretch. This is a defensive highlight, so let me get this one out of here. Play action again. They send TJ Watt straight at him. Just kind of gets rid of this thing here. Now again, not something I want him to do all the time, but this is something where you want him to eventually get to. I get that. Again, the game plan this week was to get rid of the ball quickly. But, man, I think you want to try this next time, right? Watch this corner route with Cedric Tillman. You get one-on-one. Just float him a football. See if he could do something with it. Right? I understand, again, this week that wasn't the game plan. But, man, you got to watch that one there, right? Because you get to this turn, and you see that they're sending T.J. Watt at you. You now see that David Njoku's covered. So, you know, okay, this is a no-go. This doesn't look great right here. But you do have a safety on the opposite hash, and you know you have an outbreaking route. So you might be able to hit that one. And for D.T.R, I need him to process, make that decision, and pull the trigger on that throw eventually out of this look. Not because I think it's like 100% he's going to make it, but it's just better to try it instead of trying to hit the flat there, because something could go wrong with that. It's the same risk and reward for significantly less reward. If you get in that situation, choose that corner, because that's basically a one-on-one matchup opportunity, and you can trust your guy Cedric Tillman to help you out if you throw a bad ball. And it's toward the sideline, so it's even less danger. But this is the kind of stuff where it's like, okay, I don't know if this was just him, rookie, first game, for real, that they were just giving him that really protected game plan, and then maybe in a couple weeks we'll see him throw that. But yeah, you want to see him throw that eventually, right? Because he got it. He had it. Oh my God, it was there. No. Yeah, it's there. You can see, right? You can see at the edge of your screen here, right here. You can see it. Let me try to move this over. But you guys can see it right here. Oh, it's there, right? You can see it. You got a guy falling down, and you can see that he sees it, right? And for him, I need him to forget about this flat, because TJ's right there. Only bad things can happen there. If you really want to give it up, you can give it up to Coop here, but I see why he doesn't want to do that, because he sees the safety lurking over the middle of the field. And he's like, man, if that ball goes in the air, that can get intercepted. So, okay, cool. Like, I understand not wanting to go to Coop here, not wanting to go to David here, but you got to eventually trust yourself to just not turn that thing over, giving 19 a shot on this ball, because boy, do I think 19 could have did something with that. Again, this isn't like being critical of him and what he should have done in this context. We know what the game plan was. The game plan was to get rid of the ball quickly, and I'm not being critical of that game plan. But I'm saying going forward, where the game plan isn't going to be to get rid of the ball quickly, these are things that you hope to see D.T.R grow into. Gets an empty look here. Let me get this fixed up for y'all so y'all ain't got it all jacked up for the whole rest of the stream. All right. Fine enough throw here. I mean, it's just a regular throw. Let me see. Did he miss anybody on that? And an empty max protect. They got DeJuan Jones out here. Oh, yes, he did. Yeah, he's going to look at the iPad and say, oh, God, I know. Right? So he ends up, look, the Browns end up with the mesh look here. So they're running mesh. So you can see the crossers, the shallow crossers coming across the field. So they have Hunt on a chip and release. They have Cedric Tillman coming across here, which is why they have the heavy personnel in to block. And I think that he didn't see the defense flow towards this hash. Like, the whole defense flowed this way. And I think the original read is, hey, hit Cedric Tillman. And honestly, if he hits Cedric Tillman in stride and rhythm, I think this is going to be a good play. But he doesn't. And once you're out that window, right? Because the window to hit Cedric Tillman, Cedric need that ball in his hand. You see this right here. You see the elf's little hairdo. If you're going to throw this mesh on this side of the field, he needs to get the ball at that hairdo. So, like, you need to start thinking about releasing this ball now, right? If you're going to hit Cedric, like the ball needs to start to come out now. Instead, he holds, throws this thing late, way too close to the sidelines. He gets it at the numbers. So this is where he gets the ball. This is where, if you wanted any chance of him making something out of this, he needed to get the ball. Way too much distance there. If you're going to be late to this option, you got to come off of it and get it to your backside, right? Because if there's enough congestion there that you're wanting to come off or kind of hesitant of pulling that trigger to Cedric Tillman, right? And look right here, there's enough congestion here to make him hesitant to do that. You need to get your eyes backside of play. And again, this is for next week, not this week. You need to get your eyes backside of play, locate your other mesh guy, and see where the defense is flowing, because you might have a big play on the other side. And I think he just missed it. Again, not something I expect him to do in a second start in the NFL, but it's just for later. Puts it in. This is a good ball. Well, no, not a good ball. Interception ball. Interception ball. Honestly, this ball is not that bad. It's just on the wrong shoulder, right? Just a tad late. And this just pops up, gets intercepted. Nothing too crazy there. Yeah, it's a quick throw. Wasn't accurate. I mean, I've seen plenty of people throw that interception. Comes in there. He just kind of rushed it. It was off target. And it was intercepted. Love this throw. It gets negated because of a hands to the face by James Hudson. And this is where you got to help out your quarterback. He makes a throw like this. It's a big play, but you get hands to the face and you end up behind the sticks, and this ends up being a 3-and-out. Got to help your quarterback here, man. Him and empty on the 13 or 14. Yeah, I think he just got this one here late. That's it. It was just late. For whatever reason, he saw it late. Like 1-2 step, ball should be out to David Njoku right here. Like, as David turns around, that ball should be coming. Ball's a little bit late. He wait to see David open here. Don't know why he came off of Coop here either. Oh, yeah, now I know why he came off Coop. So I think this play was go to Coop. Yeah, this play was supposed to go to Coop. So Coop's running a slant. He has it, but he falls on this slant. And that causes D.T.R's eyes to go off of Coop into David. So that's why this ball's late. Gets to the top, sees Coop fall. Okay, let me go to David. Reset. Is David open? Okay, he's open. I'm going to throw it. Little late. Little late. But honestly, it's more about Coop falling than it is about anything. But boy, that could have been a play right there if Coop doesn't stumble. Yeah, look at the eyes just here. The second he comes off of Amari Cooper, right? Like, yeah, he sees Amari slip. He's like, I gotta get off him. Boom. It's unfortunate because Amari regained his balance pretty good there. Actually did a good job of doing that. But by the time he turns around, the ball is already out to somebody else. And it's late. Nice little throw here to Elijah Moore. He's going to come back later in the game. This is a beautiful run here by Kareem Hunt. Just wanted to show that. And show it in the end zone angle as well. D.T.R. an empty. Gets a free runner at him. Just gets this thing to David Njoku. It's a good ball. It's on time. David's able to catch it in stride. Just doesn't break the tackle. Right here, D.T.R. I believe this is the final drive or close to the final drive, right? Again, David's got to catch that one because that's you can't. We're going to play this style of football. We got to be shorthanded, right? Because that's right there for David. That's right there. It's going to be a big play for David. He just drops it, and that can almost be a pick. He had a drop. D.T.R. had a drop percentage of 20 in this game. Yeah. That's a very catchable football. That's a very catchable football, man. That's a drop. Right here, same part of the field, last drive of the game. Steps in here, gets to his drop, sees it, throws it. Same play that he did to Elijah Moore earlier, right? Where Elijah Moore just kind of stems, curls, and then you get it to him right into that window. They were able to work it, the drive before. They get it right here. Boom. Good ball. See it from the end zone angle. Love that he didn't stare it down too. So you can see eyes middle, eyes middle, eyes middle. Hold that linebacker, right? What he's trying to do here with his eyes is he's trying to hold this linebacker and pull him towards Cedric Tillman, right? Because he's trying to get this window right next to his linebacker. So he holds him, eyes out. Boom. You see that? Look at the helmet stripe. Eyes middle, eyes middle, eyes middle, eyes out. Good football, fast football, hell of a throw. Good decision here to get this to Hunt instead of throwing the stick to David because Hunt can get out of bounds with this route. Right? Just give you a chance to get out of bounds, get a couple yards. Same yardage, but you stop the clock. This right here, again, Coop just killed JPJ on these slants. Gets it to him right in the pocket, and then Coop's able to go upfield with it. Big play there. And then this one right here, it's going to put it into field goal range. But again, just look at the eyes here. Doesn't stare it down. Right? Starts eyes right. Moves him back to the side of the field that he wants to go to. Held that safety, 23 there. It gets that ball there nice and clean. He's an empty here. And again, the same route that they tried to hit earlier in the drive before, this little whip route to David Njoku. So the same route they tried to hit earlier, they're successful in doing it. And look at the result, right? Get it to him in stride in time. And then David catches that it gets you all the way up to the 25, and you are in field goal range, like significant field goal range, to end this game. So my overall thoughts on DTR's debut. Well, not debut, re-debut is what we'll call it. I think he did exactly what he needed to do. It wasn't spectacular, but he stuck to the game plan. He played within himself. And in the biggest moments of the game, he stepped up, made some plays. I think there's a lot more to get out of him. We'll see a lot more of it as the weeks go on. And you can't expect that in the first real week of you going with this kid as a starter, that they're just going to empty out every tool in the book that they're going to use on him, right? They're going to gradually add stuff and add stuff and add stuff to this offense as time goes on. And I think that that's what we should expect. But, you know, this right here, not terrible. Kind of reminds me of Jacoby's first game with the Browns against the Carolina Panthers. But let me know what you think in the comment section below. Y'all have a great day. Have an even better night. Peace.